show. It is Wednesday. It is hump day, right? And it is a wonderful day. I have to tell you about some of my trials, but thank you for tuning into the Good News radio station and listening to AskZena. My guest is running a little bit late, so we'll just move on, right? But we've got some great things to share today. So, have you ever been in a situation where you feel like you're being tested from every angle? Like every angle, relationship, work, family, money, car, everything. Well, welcome to my world. Hello. Yesterday I pulled up home. I worked probably about 13 hours and my car started smoking. I just had a problem like 2 weeks ago with my car, and that was rather expensive. So I got some antifreeze, put some antifreeze in my car, and still it wasn't working really well. And so I drove it up to the mechanic this morning and said, I am going to beat this, whatever this is, that's trying to come at me and attack me, right, from every angle, because I've been having heck at work with different personalities and projects. So I realized that I wasn't being tested, but I was actually being taught. I was being taught to persevere. I'm still being taught to persevere. I was being taught to manage my responses and my reactions and that crazy monkey chatter that goes on in my mind about I want to complain, I want to pout, I want to blame, I want to do all this other stuff. It's woe is me, right? Rather than that, I was like, okay, I'm going to have to take action, and either way I'm going to have to pay. Didn't want to pay anymore. So took my car to the mechanic and got an Uber. From where I live to the studio, Uber is rather expensive. But I made the commitment, and I'm being tested right now too. Everything is supposed to be 100%. I'm very excited about our guest. I hope that she can join us. She said that she was going to join us. Kathryn McKinney, if you're listening, come on, I need you to jump on in. Anyway, but we're going to go ahead and talk about what's going on because it's really near and dear to my heart, being a black and brown individual. So been a lot of stuff going on in the media with the situation in Phoenix and the family over the dollar store, the doll incident. And I want to peel back a little bit on that because it's not so much about Phoenix. And it's not so much about the police officers, but it's about how we respond and how we react. And being a black and brown individual myself and having two young men who are African American, who are my sons, love them dearly. We as minorities, even though we're the majority, right? We have to find a different way to respond. And I know that all of this stuff infuriates us and it makes us angry and it makes us bitter and it makes us resentful. But we can't play the blame shame game. Now, some of you are not going to like that because some of you are going to be like, well, it is their fault. I get that. I get that people respond and they do some crazy things and their actions and their behaviors are not appropriate. They're horrific. And they're downright criminal. But how do we respond and how do we react to that? And so, such as I said, I have this guest who's going to be joining me today, Kathryn McKinney, who's the CEO of Black Women of Faith, who is an activist in Phoenix, who is a prayer warrior, who is involved in the medical community, very active in the political community, very active in local government. But she stands up whenever there's a call, and she steps out and she puts herself on the line to be the voice for these families. I've been to many rallies and I've been to many events with her, and she stands out and helps us. She's joining us now. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hey.
You're on live, actually, so I've already introduced you a little bit, but sit back. I just wanted.
Oh,
That's okay.
okay. No,
This is all about a
I,
conversation.
yes, that's good. It's a big conversation.
Yes. So I'm going to say a couple more things and then I want to play something that I found and then I want us to chat. So thank you. Thank you so very much. It's an honor and a privilege for you to join me today. But I'm going to do another introduction of you so that people can hear you and you know,
Okay.
resonate with you. So, because she is real. this powerful
Yes.
this powerful woman of faith is real. So,
Thank you.
again, thank you for joining the AskZena Radio podcast on the Good News Radio station. Hey,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
also want to announce that I do have a winner. So I had a contest yesterday. It's called Tag, Bag, and Brag. And so basically, I posted something in my social media sites and I asked women to tag it, to share it with their family and friends. And then they would get to bag this wonderful gift that I have for them, which is this
Mhm.
amazing journal. It's really huge. It's called Living the Best Life. And Tatiana Jones, I believe. There's a lot of background noise in your phone, Catherine. I'm sorry. Um,
You messing with my phone?
you gotta stay still.
Yes.
So this journal is about really visualizing and planning your best life and seeing the difference from where you are today to where you want to be. And
Mhm.
Tatiana, I want to have you out on my show. She has created like 21 amazing journals. She's African American. She is out there
Love it.
standing for us women so that we can stand in our authenticity and start to create the best life possible. I'm going to give her a shout out, even though we haven't come to any sort of agreement. It's setinsoul.com. But, and then there's some other things that I'll be giving. And then, so the winner will also come on my podcast and will be able to be interviewed and share their story, their entrepreneur experience, and what they're doing. So let me get back to Kathryn McKinney.
You so full, Zena.
I'm just like, all over. But, I love supporting my people, Catherine. You know that. And we have that in
Yes.
common. And that's where we really resonate from our sisterhood. So let me go into that. So Catherine and I met about 10 years ago. I don't know how we got connected, but from day one, I looked at this woman. Okay, now don't be going crazy, but I was attracted to her spirit. So I know some
Yes.
negative Nellies will be like, well, what that mean and whatever. Okay, you do.
Mutual.
Okay. I was attracted to this woman's spirit, the compassion that radiates from her body. I mean, I'm getting chills now. The the integrity and how she just stands up in her purpose. Like God placed a calling on her life and she's like doing it, baby. Doing it. Don't even
Oh,
care about what that looks like. Don't care what message I get in the middle of the night. Don't care who calls me. Not worried about her own safety and her own protection, but she's like for the people. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about a little bit about the Phoenix situation, but I want to talk about
yes.
Kathryn McKinney and what you're
Oh,
doing. Yes, no, this is about you, sweetie. This is about you.
thank
So,
you.
so
You blessed.
yes,
Always did. Day one.
yeah,
Like
remember,
you said, it was immediate. I remember it.
yes,
I was so impressed, with how you were talking and how your spirit, Zena, is so full. It's love, and that's what this is about to me, and that's
yeah,
what life is about. It's about love and the exchange of it.
yes.
You know, and you know what? Really, love is not love if it's not being shared.
Ooh,
So
come
no
on.
matter what you have, it doesn't even. But that feeling, you don't have no way to express any of that without having somebody to do that with. That's what love
Yes,
is. So it's not that you were just attracted to my spirit, me to yours, it was the mutual bond immediately of love.
Immediately. And
Yes,
and I connect.
connected.
Yeah,
That's know what love is. You
right.
don't just love mutual; it's a sharing of something.
Absolutely. And so let me just tell you, I never really toot my own horn, but I'm gonna jump out and say this. So there was a lady that I met on Facebook just recently, and she was like, "I'm
Mhm.
thinking about leaving Phoenix because we don't have to say her name. I'm thinking about leaving Phoenix. I just haven't met any good people." And I was like, "Girl, hold on a second. I need to introduce you to my people in Phoenix." And Kathryn was
Mhm.
one. Immediately, I was like,
Wow.
you need to meet some powerful people. You need to meet like the commissioner. You need to meet like,
Mhm.
people who are doing conversation parties and bringing adults together in an engaging conversation and in networking. And so she was just like so elated that in 24 hours, just 5 people that I introduced her to. Like, literally, this
Wow.
woman was like, I'm not meeting any, because Arizona has pockets of people, right? Pockets of black,
Yes.
pockets of brown. And if you don't get
Yes.
out there, you don't know where to connect with the people. And so
Exactly.
for me, when someone says, "Hey, I need you to see if you know someone," I stop in that moment. This is the type of person I am. I stop in that moment and I make the connection. I'm not "Oh yeah, I'll get to it. Oh yeah, no, I'll pray for you." I'm an action person. Look, I
Yeah.
took Uber here. It cost me $67 to get Uber here cuz my car broke down. And I was just like, it was not about me or Kathryn today. It was about people need to hear what this woman is going to share. So let me kind of go back. I want to talk about the Phoenix situation real quick, and then I want to jump into what you've got going on, and then we can go because you
So much.
you've got
We
you've
have.
got activism from entertainment from the Black Television Network in Arizona to you've got jazz concerts. Do you sleep?
I just woke up just barely. Okay. I sleep about 2 or 3 hours a day right now.
I
If I
know.
Yes, we getting a lot done though, but it's just a lot that needed to be done. Listen, my children are grown now, and so I have all this time in the world. Now I do have my significant other. He did fuss at me a little bit last night when I got home. My phone died, I didn't call. So, but he knows what I'm doing, but he knows I don't have a lot of time for all of that
Mhm.
anyway. So
Mhm.
I don't. I choose to spend my time literally being productive. I have a schedule I put together. This is the plan, and this is how it's going to get done, and I do not falter from that.
Good.
We have deadlines, we have things, and I take it very serious. I have a team that helps me, so I'm not doing it by myself. I can never do all of this stuff by myself. I do have a great support of
Mhm.
assistants,
Yeah.
and but we get it done. But like you said, we're doing the Jazz Day, which is a beautiful thing because I'll tell you why it's my favorite. Well,
Can we
Jazz Day
hold
is
off on
on.
that? Because I first
Yeah.
want to do the Phoenix thing because I think that people,
Oh yeah, we
yeah,
can
we
do
got
that.
to do the Phoenix thing because I see it trending
Yeah.
on CNN, NBC, all over. Matter of fact, I'm trying to get a reporter to go out there and interview you from our station. So anyway, let's talk about that really briefly. I want to
Let's
share
do.
the family
Yeah.
story really briefly, but then I want to talk about how you got the call and just jumped in because I see you all over the television. I see you supporting this family. And I want to
Yeah.
talk about what's happening with you because I saw a post the other day where people are circling around your house, you know?
Yeah.
And that's not cool. And I'm going to be lifting my sister up in prayer just knowing. And girl, I'll
Thank
take
you.
if you need me to take my earrings off and come out there with my little chucks.
Look, we be taking them every. We kick off shoes.
Look, I know where you live. I will be there in support, standing
Yeah.
in, arm to arm. So hold on, just in case you guys haven't heard, which I know the country has heard, the globe has heard. about this brutal situation that actually happened in Phoenix over a shoplifting incident, allegedly, about a doll and a dollar doll. The store
That's the word they're using now.
yeah, the store didn't even press charges. We saw it on video, and thank God. Like, video is done a lot. A lot of people like everybody's in technology, but thank God there were people there that caught this from multiple angles, and it was a travesty. It was a travesty. So I've got something on CBS that I'm just going to play from the family, and then we're going to jump out with your story. Okay, hold on a second.
I'm not able to sleep. I keep having pictures of guns pointed at my face.
Drayvon Ames and his pregnant fiancée, Aisha Harper, say they are still shaken 3 weeks after their encounter with Phoenix police.
I was injured a lot mentally and physically. Me and my children.
Cell phone video from May 27th shows officers with their guns drawn, verbally threatening them repeatedly in front of their 2 young children. You can see an officer kick Ames in the back of the leg while he is handcuffed.
It hurts a man's pride if you can't protect your family. You hear your daughter screaming and you can't do nothing about it.
Police were responding to a shoplifting incident. The parent's 4-year-old daughter took a doll from a dollar store nearby, but police say Drayvon Ames also stole a pair of underwear, was driving with a suspended license, and refused their commands to pull over several times, all of which he denies. Reverend Jared Maupin is a civil rights activist in Phoenix.
I don't care if they stole every damn doll from the dollar store. What you see on that tape, you cannot justify.
Over the weekend, Phoenix's police chief, Jerry Williams, apologized to Ames and Harper.
This incident is not representative of the majority of Phoenix police officers who served this city.
But earlier this year, a report commissioned by Williams found that 2018 was Phoenix PD's most violent year on record.
So, I love Arizona. I love Phoenix. I'll be back one day on a permanent basis, probably be a snowbird. But I don't really want to talk about the acts that occurred. I want to talk about how the community is dealing with this, because everyone is telling different stories. Well, the dollar, the this, the that. Everyone is sharing different stories, and the family has gone through that. So first, I have been keeping them in prayer. The children will have this as an imprint on their spirit as they go through and trying to navigate being black in America, right? But how's the community in Phoenix dealing with this?
Let me say, what we know that this is something that's going on all across the nation.
Yes.
Okay? We just happened to catch them doing it, and they didn't have any record of it, which immediately showed the sign of something not right.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to tell you this. When we initially asked for that police report, they didn't have one. Okay? Now, they miraculously came up with one, but we caught them so off guard with this because they were not, they didn't know. They did know that it was eventually that someone was probably videotaping, but they did not think that they would do anything about what happened.
Wow.
So this was, I don't like to put rumors or anything and stuff that's not, things that aren't facts yet. But definitely this was not something they wanted to talk about with us ever.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean,
they made so many mistakes.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it was almost like the fraternal order of something. You know, when you jump a gang and you jump people in and you got to do this or that. We know that does exist within the police department here. Okay? And we think this was something like that. Trust me, if you just think in the way they're using the words shoplifting suspect, no shoplifting suspect should ever be treated like that.
Yeah.
That's what we said. If it was a shoplifting suspect, but let me tell you how the police do it out here. Okay? They first of all, we caught them off guard. This was a 1, 2, 3, 4 back and forth since last week. Every day this story changes, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And this is why there's so many different versions. Now, we first told them, we put out a press release, and we said, look, you guys have mishandled a whole family, and if you don't answer to us about this, we're going to put out a video. Okay? They ignored it. We put the video out.
So let me ask you a question. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but so the viewers didn't put out the video? You guys put out the video?
Yes. The family brought the video to us.
Oh, wow, because it looked like it was being videoed from 3 different angles from 3 different people.
It is. Let me tell you something, and this is a still problem Phoenix Police Department has, and this is why they're hanging around my house and looking for us, because we have 8 videos.
Wow, that gives me chills.
Okay? So when the first thing it was, you guys didn't point guns at the kids. No, this is we'll do a press release, then they'll turn around and do a press release answer. We have them running right now. Anyway, so they're like, hey, we didn't know it was any children in the car. So you guys pointed guns at kids. We didn't know it was no kids.
Wow.
Then we show the video where you looked all in the front of the car and saw the kids. So now you knew it was kids. Well, we didn't point guns. We put the video out that showed you pointing the gun for about 3 seconds.
Yeah.
So this is the problem. We know they're going to lie. They don't know what we have.
So I just want to step back for a moment. So in watching the videos, here's where I'm really concerned about the police and their mentality across the country. I saw tremendous aggression from the first footage. Now, I don't know what happened before. I don't know what happened in the store. Don't need to go into those details. But
I'm going to tell you something real quick, Zena. They have footage of that family in that store for the last 30 days.
Wow. But
so
what
they're putting a story together as we speak.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
But I wanted to talk about, police. It used to say, you from LA too. It used to say protect and serve, protect and serve, protect and serve on these vehicles, right? They're here to protect and serve. But what I saw, so let's just play this out, right? You get a call, there's been theft from a dollar store. I mean, I don't know how much you could really steal from a dollar store, but there's
anonymous.
I know. Okay. So
they haven't released it to us
and
yet.
and that's fine. But I want to talk about the aggression. Like this police officer who took the father down, he was so angry. It was like it was an attack against him. He came out dropping F-bombs, pushing him around, thrashing him around, and the man kept saying, I'm trying to comply, and he kept telling him to shut up and then asking him questions. So the point that I'm trying to make is just we as people really have to look at this, because I don't know if the police officers are running so scared of everything going on that they're scared to do their own job, which means they probably shouldn't be doing their job. Because I've got a son in the military, and if he's scared to go to Iraq, then he shouldn't go. It's called PTSD.
Thank you.
He shouldn't go. He should not be in that job. If a teacher is scared to teach high school students in a black school and a brown school in East LA, then they shouldn't be teaching, because it is for our greater good. We're supposed to be doing this as a service. So if you can't comply with doing your service, I'm not talking about brutally doing your service, but if you can't do your service and it brings you a level of comfort, joy, that you're impacting humanity, then you need to get out of your bleeping job, right? But the point that I'm trying to make here is not so much Phoenix, because we are talking about Phoenix, but I'm talking about across the country. These police officers are, so I don't know, and I'm just going to put it out there. I don't know if they're running scared or if people are telling them, hey, you need to go after these people with force. Because back in the day, police officer will pull you over, and it's like, hey, you were speeding, because I speed. You were speeding, you know, and it's nice. I'm nice, they're nice. I've had some, you know, rough ones, but I'm nice, they're nice. But this sort of level of aggression is a fight or flight mentality. They're coming out guns loaded.
Like you said, they need to be in Iraq.
Well, no, they don't need to be in Iraq. They need to be someplace else, because they need to. So it's a training. Because these people go to the academy to want to protect and serve. But if you're being taught, I don't know, allegedly, hypothetically, whatever, if you're being taught to be aggressive, then just like you said in the beginning, you know, we have to go out there with love. And I'm not, people are going to be like, why you say love the police officers? Look, I say love every one of God's children, okay? I'm just going to put a period right there. But on the other hand, if we go out there with love and with good intentions, then we are attracting some of that back. But if the police officers are going out there with aggression and this anger and this resentment, you're going to think and you're going to assume that even the kindest person is acting out that way, because you've already got chemicals and a reaction going on in your mind and in your body. You can't level down from that. So think about it as like working out, like you're at the height of your workout and all this is going on in your body. There's adrenaline. There's all this stuff going on. You need a shower to cool down. You need to take yourself out of that space to cool down, right? This is the point that I'm trying to make in my rambling. But if they're operating already on 10, nothing is going to bring you down to 5 to diffuse a situation, which you're supposed to be operating at a 5 to diffuse all situations. That's what your protect and serve means.
Right.
Right?
Now, listen, that's what it's supposed to mean. Now, we are going to talk about this diplomatically, because that's how we have to talk about it to get through it. But we're not going to, don't get distracted. I mean, I want to talk about this nationally, and I could talk about this case locally. But now, because it has picked up the attention of the nation, we will talk about it diplomatically.
Okay.
So, first of all, that man was overly angry. Overly. It's that right there is enough to say this man needs a break.
Exactly.
Okay, that's what
I agree.
Saying.
I agree.
Now, what we know is that what they cannot justify it, because the act itself was barbaric. There are. And this is it right here, the diplomatic part. And I don't want the people to be bamboozled, okay, into thinking it was something more than what it was, because nobody deserves that treatment in the first place.
Absolutely.
Now, the nation has a problem, yes, with officers escalating.
Yes.
They do have them scared, and it is a part of their training to respond. You know, the first thing that they tell them, and this is what it sickens me, and I've been upset about this for a long time, because we're dealing with several cases of police brutality here, and I know we deal with it across the country. But the first thing they say is, if you don't turn around and give them your hand when they walk up to you, you are going to be cited with resisting.
So that in
If you
itself is an act of aggression.
Exactly.
Wow.
Resisting arrest. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
If you, like I said, if you don't just, they're taught immediately any resistance to overtake you.
Wow.
By necessary force. That's one of the laws of training that we're going to have to change. You don't have any rights when you stand up to that police officer in the street. None. If you don't turn around and give them your hand and let them handcuff you, they have the right at that moment to overtake you.
I had no idea.
The officers here and act like a gang. They drive around one person. They put the calling all cars. They put the APB out. Everybody in that area swarms in as if there's a problem. I'm sure you guys have seen it. If you've been pulled over by the police, next thing you know, you got another car arriving and another car. They have tactics that they use that in itself are threatening to people and brutal in nature.
I have to agree with you because it seemed like there was a number of police officers there for this dollar store shoplift. There were probably five cars, and there were at least four police officers that I could see from the different angles that were quite infuriated and were very aggressive from the moment they walked out the car. So that's what I was perplexed about. Yeah, we can talk about this on and on and on, but I definitely want to get into.
No, they don't really want to know. They don't like that we know all this right now.
Well,
let me tell you it was 5 officers there.
Okay.
Now, how they all got the call? Listen, we're trying to get the air traffic right now. They don't want to give that up. How they were able to communicate with each other and get there and perform that act. It was almost, I can get back into it. I don't want to get hearsay. I want to get the facts to the people. But this was something that was planned.
So you're saying it was calculated? You're saying it was calculated? Okay.
Yes,
okay.
And but to keep it on a national level, because I can't say all of those.
No. You certainly can't disclose all that stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right, but no, and they were doing something that they knew very well that they shouldn't have been doing, which is why none of them had their body cams on.
Oh, good point. Good point. Yeah. Right.
No, they did not. No body cam footage. They did not wear body cams. And the day that we asked them for the police report, they didn't even know what we were talking about.
Wow.
Then we get the police report. The first 2 words on the police report are wrong. Is a lie. That's what I'm going to say. They don't know the date. They don't know the exact date. We do because we have timestamp videos.
Yeah. But that's what I was talking about, where the adrenaline
really happened. I don't want to get all off into that, but just
we don't.
It's a bigger.
Yeah, and we can talk about that more. But I wanted to say that's what happens when the adrenaline gets going, and it's so high. It's at a high level that reality is behind us. And so you're saying the police report was wrong. They were aggressive. They didn't know the dates. Their adrenaline coming out of these cars was just so unreal on such a heightened level that the reality, they can't even know anything that's going on. But I want to talk about, so now Jay-Z jumped out and he said he wants to help and support the family. What's that about?
Well, he did. Rock Nation called the family. And what they wanted to do was provide legal support. So he wanted to send his lawyer from New York to
Wow.
help with this case, and he, I guess, he was going to pay for it. Now, a lot of lawyers are going to want to take this case,
Yeah.
because it's going to be it's a case that's going to set the precedent.
Yes.
We're looking to enact some federal laws behind this,
Yes.
that needs to be and will be imposed on these states.
Good
So
for you.
Jay-Z, we love the community support behind this.
Yeah.
And we really just want you to stay with us through this, because it's not a race. This is going to be a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
But this is going to be played out on TV. It's going to be the first time. Not like Trayvon Martin or Mike Brown. You guys are going to watch us win. Okay?
Amen.
We already have won.
Yeah.
Because they have already fired three of those officers.
Wow.
And I won't say fired, but they laid them off without pay.
Oh, okay. So they're
the way
suspended.
The system is set up, they can't be, they have a union.
Okay.
They can't be fired until the investigation has been completed. But
So-
they did lay them off without pay. So, they took the very minimal first step that they could.
Well, they had to do something. So, Kathryn,
They have to.
Yeah, they have to do something, because I've seen the rallies. I've seen your rallies, and I'm going to be out there in July to support you and walking arm to arm with you. So, definitely. So, that's the activist, Kathryn McKinney, right? That's the activist. That's the person who gets the call. I mean, when Trayvon Martin, I was there with some of the rallies and some of the events that you were doing for Black Lives Matter. So let's just sort of move into Kathryn McKinney and all that she is. So that's the activist. That's the compassion. And when I did the topic for today, I talked about compassion. And you have the most compassionate spirit that I know of. I mean, there are certain people that just have this purity of heart that it just shines through. First of all, you're an absolutely gorgeous woman inside and out. Y'all, we'll give you her contact information later, but she does have a significant other, and I'm not promoting that. She's not accepting any applications. Because, people will be like, oh, this woman is a powerful woman. And so anyway, she's not my dear friend, and so on lockdown. But anyway, you are you're the president and CEO of Black Women of Faith, which has thousands of women who are prayer warriors, who are out there in the community, who are first women in their first ladies and first women in their church. You are in local government. You are in the medical nursing community. You she's an executive producer for Phoenix's first Black television network. She is a promoter. She's got the jazz thing going on, and so I'm not doing this to toot her horn. I'm talking about, I should have said compassionate and action go hand in hand with success, right? So people monitor success in terms of, well, I need to be a millionaire, I need to have this. Success is where you are happy at doing what you're doing, and you love doing it, right? Whether you're a thousandaire or a millionaire, whatever that looks like. But if you say Kathryn McKinney in the community of Phoenix, everybody knows who she is, right? And she's doing all of these things. And so, again, there's no excuses. She's my age, and she's doing these things. She's got grown kids. So when you think that you can't reinvent your life, when you think that you are hopeless because you don't have a purpose, when you think that you don't know what you're doing, when you broke up with that man, got divorced, and you just like moping, complaining, you can jump out in there and you can reinvent yourself, but you don't have to do it in one medium. You can do it in multiple mediums. So talk to me a little bit about Black Women of Faith. Then let's talk about the entertainment piece.
And this is so crazy, too, because I started Black Women of Faith back in 2009. 2010 is when I went public. I put it on Facebook and created this group. Now, I was working in the church at that time because I'm a minister, too. And I have a master's degree in ministry that I completed in 2007. And what I started doing was working for the church, going from church to church and really helping sell this ministry program that I had just finished, which is MTI, the Ministry Training Institute, under Azusa World Ministries and Dr. Frederick K.C. Price out there. So this was a very powerful program. And during that program, I figured out, I kind of knew what I was supposed to do, and I knew my purpose was going to be to help people. Learning about what purpose was really resonated in my soul so much that I ended up writing a book called Successfully Serving God.
Wow.
And while I was I started off because I just had to write one sermon. This one sermon turned into about 30. After I did this sermon, I was convicted, and I wanted to prove that this was real, and that and that God does want to take care of you when you're serving Him in purpose. I quit my job. It was a professional, because I just started working 4 days a week, then 3 days a week, then 2 days to 1 to none. So it was progressive. But Black Women of Faith started out because I was in the church, and I was moving around from church to church, and I seen how women were isolated, and how I was like, I didn't even know they was having this event over here this week. So that's how I started sharing different things on Facebook, getting all that information. I wanted to create an organization where Black women from various churches could come together and be out in the community doing God's work.
Yes.
And volunteering. So it actually started off as like a volunteering organization. And throughout the years, it became very political, because as we were volunteering, we started volunteering for different campaigns. It wasn't just for the Jazz Fest, or we're not just volunteering for the polo tournament anymore. I started making contact, and people needed us for other things. So we have, up to date, I've managed several campaigns. I've managed now, and I did fundraising for a few, but I've had a city council campaign. We managed a Congress campaign. We worked on 2 different presidential campaigns, and so the campaigning was very important. Now, during this time of campaigning and being political, people wanted to know if I could help them in other areas. We're doing other things. So I'm telling you, I didn't know what this was until just 2 weeks ago. It became crystal clear to me. It took me 10 years of just doing things that I like to do before God really just showed me what He wants me to do. Okay? Not He wants me to do all these things, but it was a bigger purpose behind it, and I didn't know what it was. So now who we are, Black Women of Faith, is a group, an organization of women in the community, and most of my women all have, and especially the women on my board, we have, and I encourage the women to start their own nonprofit organizations. And what we do is we service the victims of police brutality in the community. Okay. And that came because it was just so much that was needed. So somebody called me. Like I said, we did the vigil for Trayvon Martin, and that was the opening door for this police brutality advocacy. Yes. Now, people call, and we get a case, and I get overwhelmed. I don't know where God has taken me with this. I have no idea. I'm going to say this too. I'm a nurse, but my only degree is in ministry. And I don't know if God want me to be a lawyer now. They're like, what are you going to do? Because I do so much. I don't know.
Well, in California, you don't need a law degree. Kim Kardashian, there's 6 states, I think, that you don't need a law degree to practice law. So come on back.
Wow.
Come on back.
Well, as long as I got somebody that do practice it, you understand?
Absolutely.
So that's who I am. I'm the organizer.
Wow.
And I figure it out. I find people who serve certain areas. So I have, like I said, I have this board now of women, and we take care of all the main points in the community.
Okay.
So we have a housing program for homeless. We have a food program, and this is something, and if I could talk, I'm sorry, because I know I might be rambling too, because it's so much inside of me of what I do want to start sharing with the world. But we, Black women, are the ones who are left to deal with the violence aftermath. Okay, most of the time, it's usually it's our son that was killed by the police, or it's our son our daughter that's been wrongfully incarcerated, or we're dealing with domestic violence in our communities. We deal with so much, and there are no resources available to women who are dealing with these things.
Wow.
I can get all off into the percentages, how many Black women aren't married, how many Black women aren't doing this or that, but I won't, because they're good ones too. Like right now, we know Black women are the number one most educated group in America.
Wow.
We have to make sure that our voice is heard too.
Absolutely. Well, I created an organization called Authentic Voices of Women, and we're going to talk about power, partnering together. But mine's is from a perspective of overcoming. So anyone that has life experiences, whether you've overcome some things, I've overcome a lot of things too. So you are doing some amazing things for our women of faith, but you also have this entertainment. I want to talk about the Black Television Network in Phoenix, and I want to talk about your jazz thing going on, and then we got to let people know how to get in touch with you. So,
yes. Okay. So let me say that this is amazing. I'm telling you, I don't know where God is going. I'm just on His road, and I'm staying true to the call, true to Him telling me, I'm allowing Him to construct my life on a day-to-day basis. Absolutely. And all I have to do is just be happy. I'm happy every day.
Yes. I
wake up happy, and I know what I'm supposed to do, and I didn't need nobody to tell me to do it or anything. I just know. So just me moving like that has, God has proven Himself to me.
That's called grace, girl. That's called grace. Living and operating and flowing in grace. Oh, you know what? Look, we got to talk about your film. Hold on. You got to put a period in something. I'm going to have to keep interrupting you because you've got so much to share. And I need to get to work in a little while. But, okay, talk about the entertainment, and then let's talk about the film. The film.
CTYC, Connect to Your City, is a media mogul right now. They have 4 stations, but now they have one in Atlanta, one in Vegas, one in Phoenix, and one in LA. Now, what we are, and that's we have airtime. I'm getting involved in this stuff. I don't even know. I'm telling you what it really is. I just know, that I'm learning. I'm learning it. So right now, CTYC, I was introduced to a lady by the name of Tina Michelle, and she started talking to me, and she was like, you know what? She loves my style. These people actually sold their home in California and moved out here and bought this television network that was up for sale, the air of it, and they were living in the studio with this because this was their goal. Okay, and she happened to meet me, and she loved the way I interacted with the community, and she asked me if I would start marketing for them. And marketing for them just has turned into me having 4 shows now. I have 4 shows.
And being an executive producer.
Man, look, Tina, I'm saying this stuff. I don't even know what all the words mean.
But can we just stop? One second.
But yes.
One second. No, because I have to say this. First of all, when you come to the AskZena show, it's a dance. I do the cha-cha, I do different kinds of dances with my conversation, but I'm just talking about, I just have to point out God's grace. Because,
Yes.
see, everybody's talking about, I'm trying to be this, I'm trying to do this, Stop trying and surrender it unto your
Yes.
maker. And stuff will just drop in your lap. Did you guys hear all these things that have just dropped into this woman's lap? And she just professed, she's like, well, I don't know. If God wants me to be an attorney, I'm going to be an attorney. That's surrender. That's like, you know what?
Yeah.
What your will be done. Your will be done.
Yes.
Stop trying to make stuff happen. Stop trying to be.
Yes.
I mean, you're going to go with the flow. You're going to, when action comes, you're going to take action. You're going to do things. But so many people are into life and they're like, I got to make this happen. I got to make this rap game. I got to make. You know what? If you surrender it, because there is a higher power. I don't care what you call it.
Yes.
There's a high. When you surrender unto your higher power, contacts, people, things. I mean, I'm in the entertainment industry as well, and I'm in broadcast networks, and I'm meeting producers and executive producers and multimedia journalists and all of these people that I never would have been in touch with. I mean, I've been in entertainment for a long time, but I've done the corporate side of entertainment. Now I'm meeting the talent, and I'm seeing how shows are produced. I'm seeing original content. I'm looking at people who want to bring their content to people like you. And so that's not what I do. You know, when I was in Arizona, I was a motivational speaker working on I was an author. I was working from home.
Yes.
You know, and then I just surrendered all of that. And so I had to bring up this point because everyone is like, they're trying to get their hustle on, and Kathryn is just living in grace. She's being open and authentic, saying, I don't know what this means. I don't know what TV network means. I got a degree from ministry. I'm a nurse. I'm this. I don't know all of this technology. I don't know all of this terminology. But what she said, and this is the point that was like hit me so hard. She said, I don't know. God maybe wants me to be an attorney, and okay, I'm going to be an attorney. She surrendered all of that, and she's willing. She's willing. So what will happen is more and more opportunity will come to her. So I just had to bring up that point for my listeners because there's so much that you are sharing that I don't want them to miss the messages. See, when I get on this radio, when I do this podcast, God is speaking through me, all around me, in me, here. Because my spirit brings that. And so there are messages, there are nuggets that are left. It's not just Zena rambling, which I do. It's not just Zena venting, but which I do. But understand, there is a method and there is a message in everything. Every second that we do, there's a message. God is speaking to us. And we just have to listen. But sometimes we get so jaded and so clouded by all the digital noise and all the other noise that we miss the message. And the message today was about a woman who's compassionate, a woman who takes action, and she doesn't need to know how to figure it all out. I know people who are like, I'm a musician and I'm this and I'm going to be a comedian, but I don't know. Just get out there and do. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to not pronounce words correctly. Don't be afraid to show up, because it will all when you surrender it. So I'm going to get back to you, but that was powerful for me. That was powerful. So let's talk about the film.
Just be available.
Yes.
That's what it is. Be available for God to use you. You know what moves your spirit when you see it. First, and this is the other point with that, is that whatever it is your purpose to do, know that it's rooted in doing something for God and God's people. God said that was part of the Great Commission. Okay? Our job is to be available to be used as the vessel in the areas that He needs you.
Yes.
You can come up with all the things you want, but your time on earth is valuable, and it's going to boil down to what does God need you to do.
All right.
So that's the first step. Be available to what God is telling you to do. He tells us what to do all day, every day. But are we listening? Are we following? No, because like you said, there's a digital age now, and we're busy and we have so many other things going on that we don't have time all the time to really sit and focus. And that's a big part of what I do is I stay in meditation and I prioritize.
Yeah.
And I wake up and I prioritize my day. So I know I'm not running traditional like I should, and I'd be more effective if I did. But I have people around me who help keep me and hold me to task, and that helps.
So when did God plant the seed for the movie?
Let me tell you.
When did God plant the seed for the film?
You know what? It's crazy, but I'm a recorder, and so it's one of my jobs initially when I started this was just to take pictures and video and capture these things out of a hobby because I just like to take pictures too. Mm-hmm. And I had someone looking at my some of the footage I had. And matter of fact, his name is Larry Witherspoon. He's the CEO of CTYC. And he said, Kat, this is a film. You have more footage than I've seen, and people need to see this. And so he charged me with creating a film. And when I created that film, Larry said, this needs to go to Cannes. So it was just, I don't know. I had the footage. I just put it together. And next thing I know, I submitted it to these film fests. And it's getting national attention. I've won 4 laurels now. And it's crazy because they're not even in this country, you know. But it does say to the fact that there is a problem. And what I wanted to do with this, because I've been involved in these protests. Now, the name of the film right now is Hands Up, Don't Shoot. And what we see on the news and what the media shows us about protests and riots, how crazy it looks, and people is out there wilding out, all of that's going on. But what I wanted to do was show the beauty of a protest, the love, mm-hmm. the organizing, mm-hmm. the unity, you know, the emotions. And so that's what my film was its purpose to do, is to show the reality of why we're even out there and how we're handling this as a great people, because they have put us in positions where we should be overly angry, burning down buildings angry. But we're only in the street trying to bring awareness to what's going on. So it's a lot of passion, and that's where that came from. So the seed was dropped by Larry Witherspoon, who's the creator of this TV network, CTYC, which really is a family of 26 networks. But I had no idea I'd be a film producer. Like, okay, you know.
And you're first one out. Like, you're winning and you're being acknowledged and receiving award.
Tokyo, Japan.
That's crazy.
The UK, Great Britain. The one I'll be in Hollywood in August.
Wow.
For the Pinewood Studios Film Fest. So it just, I submitted it to one, and so many have, and it's in 36 film fests right now. So wow. I'm like, and I just got a laurel the other day, and I didn't see it till the next day. I don't even have time to even think about that no more.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
It's taking so much time. But
Kathryn,
it's kind of chaotic, but it's God's order.
Well, yeah, so that's the point that I keep wanting to bring people back to. Just surrender, release. And I mean, I know people who have tried to make I was just at Full Sail, which is a film university. They did a career fair, and I met like 300 or something people, and I walked away only being impressed with one, right? And mm-hmm. I told the career directors, I said, hey, this one guy, he had a pitch that was amazing. He walked in with confidence. Everybody else, they were scrambling. And I'm talking, these people spend like $30,000, for this school. And most of those people had masters in film. Mm-hmm. And I was just blown away. I said, if you guys need me to come volunteer to help you get your people together, I'll do that. But the point that I'm trying to make is this one guy, he spoke with confidence. And that's the one thing that I've always known about you is even if you don't know, you're going to speak with confidence because you have conviction in what it is your purpose is. You don't know what the end result, what God is trying to orchestrate through you. You don't know what the end result, but you're going to speak with confidence because of your relationship with God. And I pray from a space of knowing. So my prayers are a little bit different. So I resonate with that with you. But this is an example when people talk about, well, I'm waiting for God to I'm waiting for that day. I'm waiting. God is blessing us every single day. Did you hear this woman? First film out and is winning awards in 26 different contests or however film festivals, and she's being recognized all around the world. And this was her hobby, taking pictures. Do you see the blessing in that? Just stand up in who you are. This conversation is just amazing. It's taken all different kinds of turns, and I'm just so grateful for you. I want to talk about the jazz festival that's coming up, and then you got to tell people how to get in touch with you. And then my Uber's about to come take me to work.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you. So no, I started because I stay busy. I just stay busy. Look, if I wake up, I don't have nothing to do, and there's a meeting or something going on, I'm gonna go. Now that's just me, and that's a lot of times how I get involved with stuff. So I was sitting on I'm a pillar for justice on the African American Governors Commission here, and Doc Jones came in and he was pitching his jazz day to us at the state capitol because he needed to. Well, it wasn't at the state capitol yet. He was pitching it to the Governor's Commission because he just wanted them to know what he was doing, and he wanted some support from them. So I'm just sitting there listening. I go home that night and I write up a whole proposal for him.
Wow!
And when I called him, he was like, "Let's run, baby." Okay, so the proposal, I said, "Doc, we need to have a jazz festival on the state capitol." I said, no, there are no events here like that. Now, they do have events on the state capitol grounds. No Black events have been done on the state capitol ground. And so he loved the idea. We ended up writing a proclamation. Do you know this year, this is our third year doing it. We're going into our fourth year, which is April of next year. And we have a proclamated day now from the governor to perform this event. And so this event is going to ride for years to come. But it's the first Black event on the state capitol grounds. And we bring schools there. We bring artists. We have vendors of just and look, I look for African vendors, the African clothes and stuff like that, because what I want to do is have just a day of culture on that capitol. I look for nonprofit organizations to come out there and share their business, because this has turned into one of my greatest lobbying days now.
Wow.
It's almost like lobbying, because we're introducing our businesses to the Congress. So this is a state capitol jazz day.
All right,
and it's going to just grow every year. I'm looking for Ferris wheels and stuff next.
Oh my gosh! Well, let me see what I know in my little black book that I can connect you with. I know the gaming commissioner, so I'll have to get you in touch with the gaming commissioner.
Run with it, and so that's like something else that happened. So now I do Jazz Day every year, and we have 4 of them, not just on the state capitol, but we have one in Mesa, we have one in Surprise, and we have one, and we pick another place in Phoenix.
Okay.
And usually Market Cafe or something like that. But the one that I focus on is the one on the state capitol, because that's the day of education and getting these congressmen to really know what organizations we have, what our students look like, the beauty of music. It's just it's a really fun day. So that's how Jazz Day for the state capitol started.
I want to be like you when I grow up. I want to be
It's
like
just
you when I
people would
grow
come
up.
up with an idea, and that was the other thing, Zena. You knew because I talked to you several times. You encouraged me because you with Black Women of Faith. You was like, Kat, we got to put if you do this like this and this like that, it could be like that, and you helped me to make this more of a member-driven organization. You tried to you helped me put some order to this, because
I remember
it
that
was just
day.
it was everywhere, but it was beautiful. But to be more effective, I knew that I was going to have to be more determined,
Yeah.
As to what it was that I wanted to do and accomplish with the work of the ladies that I have behind me. So I always said my purpose is to help you find yours.
Yeah. No, I'm that way too. So, I mean, I get in a zone, like that day we were sitting downstairs on my first floor and we were in my office and then it started pouring down. I love monsoons in Arizona. I love monsoons, but we just laid it out. And that's how God works through me is when someone brings me an idea, I remove myself and I just start, okay, this needs to be done. You need to look at this and you need to, I mean, we came up with a whole plan on how you could monetize and get membership and make this grow and so forth. And I love doing that I love those sort of sessions when I'm just sitting down and just hashing things out and working with people. So, I'm going to close this up. Because I want to be like you.
We'll talk again.
Yeah, absolutely. No. You got to tell people how to get in touch with you because I know we touched everything today, and you have and there's so much more. So I want to get people in touch with you. I want to get people talking about the Jazz Day and helping you and bringing vendors and businesses and so forth. So you're originally from LA, but you're in Phoenix and you're still connected to us here in LA. And so, yeah.
Come recognize me, Zena.
Yeah.
There's so many services that are available to do out here. They don't have the fervor, the spirit of LA here, but we bring it to them.
Yes.
To understand
how can people get in touch with you?
Let me tell you, Kat McKinney, and that's my Twitter, that's my LinkedIn, that's my Instagram, and my Facebook.
Ooh.
Now, I do have several other pages, but on all those platforms, you could find me under Kat McKinney, KATT. McKinney. I have several websites that'll be listed. I have Police in Crisis, the Black Women of Faith, My Black TV, ULive AZ. Those are my websites. And then I have Black Women of Faith on Facebook, Black Women of Faith on Instagram. It's just so much, but I just try to keep it right there. You can find me, though, right in the social media networks under Kat McKinney, and then you can just go from there.
And you will see her. She is a stunning-looking woman. Stunning.
Thank you.
Pure natural.
Stunning as you.
No. Pure natural beauty. You'll see her, and you'll know what I'm talking about physically, inside and out. She's an amazing person. Thank you, my dear friend. Thank you, my sister, for jumping out and sharing your life with us and just motivating and inspiring us to get out there and get active in our community and to serve, but also to be of service and living from a greater purpose so that we can go out there and change. I mean, you're changing things one by one, little by little, that's magnified into this amazing platform and enterprise, which is called Kathryn McKinney. Oop, did you hear that?
I heard you.
This enterprise called Kathryn McKinney. Ooh, we're going to have another conversation. I love you so much.
You got so much to do for me, girl.
Yeah, well, I'm coming back. I'm going to be a snowbird, so I'm coming back. So I'm going to be right across the street in the townhouse. I'm going to be right across the street in the townhouse.
No, Zena, why do I live right across the street from the townhouse you had?
I know. Well, guess what?
You know. I was here.
I'll be right there. Look, I missed the townhouse because on the third floor, the fireworks. I'm going to have to come out there for the fireworks because they're done right there at Westgate. Anyway, hey, thank you guys so very much for tuning into the Ask Zena show on the Good News radio station. I hope that you were enlightened, informed, encouraged today. Go out there and make it an amazing day. Thank you very much. Peace and blessings to you all.